Let's talk about shame. I just posted my little welcome intro, what do they call it? Channel trailer yesterday. And by the end of it, I had sorted out that my audience is anybody who still feels shame. I just heard that coming out and it sounded like if you're a shameless person, it's not shamelessness, which has a totally different connotation than being void of shame that I'm going for here, but rinsing the emotional body of any undue sense of shame. Oh yeah, so I just posted that, and just hours later, Teal Swan posts a video that she titled "The Difference Between Being Shamed and Feeling Shame." I tried to watch her video. I couldn't. I've gone through some passage which has actually rid me of all of these traces of shame that I felt along my whole path of being rejected for, most of the time I don't even know what I'm being rejected for. People just disappear. I like to use my brain. I'm not in any kind of intelligence competition, but I like my mind a lot. People don't like that in women. It's just a thing. I don't know why. Hopefully it goes away eventually with enough awareness and kindness and love in the air. I'm not going to be mad about it because the rewards of pursuing your own mental fruits and spiritual fruits are so much that it honestly does not matter what other people think in the end. If you're really pursuing your soul, what is right for you. There is such an unfortunate reality at work here, which is that when you are shamed before the age of 7 for things, that has a longer lasting mark than anything the rational mind can contend with. So a lot of people that are hurting and that shame others and that do the worst in the world are truly victims of an environment to which they have simply maybe over-adapted. And I don't want to cross over into the territory of overly defending the bad people in our lives because, oh my God, their childhood. Once you're an adult, you are in charge of your own decisions and making sure that you reflect upon your life and course correct when needed. But I will use it in this general sense of, like, if you've ever hated me just because I'm smart and a woman at the same time, then no big. We all have to get over certain things we've been conditioned to like or expect from other people. Nobody wants to induce a cringe in another person, and yet they will. We're in parallel universes all the time, or perpendicular ones even, and other people are going to resonate with other things than you. And that's the great discomfort of just being in the third dimension or less. Like, I really feel like people are making themselves lesser dimensional, two-dimensional, or even one-dimensional these days. The social fear has become so great that it is so much safer to be simpler, to just streamline the being so that it offends as few as possible. But life is not about other people's experience of you. It's about your experience. We really have to get over objectifying ourselves. You are not how other people perceive you. You are your experience. And your experience is enhanced, enlivened, made beautiful by connections to others, if they're meaningful. But if you've objectified yourself in your relationships, then you're not going to have access to that great feeling that relationships bring us, the expansive, safe, real connection. When we're just trying to fix ourselves to make other people feel pleasant about being around us, then we in fact cut off that bridge of connection. We make it impossible. We've got all these little avenues within that we have keep out signs on. You can't see this. You can't go here. You won't like me if you explore that back alley over there. That is anticipating being shamed. And so you feel shamed in advance. Maybe we should start giving each other more of a chance. Like, I've put myself out here, like on the internet, in so many different kinds of ways, and always started to feel this shame in advance. I get a negative comment before I get any positive ones, or I get a subscriber and then I post a different video and that subscriber leaves. Like, when you're a small person putting your stuff out there, then you feel everything. You see everything. And it's hard to tear yourself away from those metrics because it's a gauge as to how well you're resonating, if nothing else. I finally crossed that bridge into shamelessness. I don't care what you think. I care how you feel. I want to reach some kind of communion with the people here, wherever here is. The second dimension is what I call media. There are so many ways in which the screen life has flattened our experience of real life. It's also opened up dimensions in other ways. But one thing it has really done is magnified shame. There's not a thing that goes through a human head that we don't get to see on the internet. People are just so in their minds. We're listing out all these things that are wrong with, like, even feeling shame about feeling shame. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say that it's not valid in so many ways. What are we actually feeling this shame for? And if it has a function, how do we make sure that we just use it enough to make the change that we want to make so that we can get rid of it? Because it is unpleasant. Isn't it ironic that we do so much trying to be pleasant to other people while we exist in such an unpleasant feeling state? Often the reality is that we are feeling shame in advance and not actually being shamed by anybody. We assume, due to wounds from our past, that others are making certain assessments of us that they're not making. We jump to conclusions about other people's conclusions about us. And it doesn't work for anybody. The real meaning of let it go. There are all these phrases and just simple little things, which are, it's good that they're simple, but they don't really open up an issue for understanding. Letting it go means releasing all of those things that exist only in the mind, which ruin our experience. I'm very careful with intuition because I think we confuse intuition and conditioning very, very easily. Intuition always comes from source, from unconditional love. So if there's any judgment contained in intuition, then that's not what it is. And you can be intuitive and pick up on a dangerous situation or unhealthy, maladaptive. So you have those kinds of words for it. But if your intuition is picking up on, there's a million negative things. Even just they're on drugs. That's a very common assessment of people, and everybody's on drugs. Coffee's a big one, but beyond that, people are literally just on drugs. It's the American way of life now. Legalized or not, there is a thin line between legal and illegal when it comes to mind-altering substances these days. And that line is entirely economical, has nothing to do with ethics. Here in Oklahoma, meth is a blue-collar crime. In Hawaii, it's a white-collar issue. Shit's so relative. How can we even feel shame when all we have to do is move 1,000 miles away and whatever we're doing is totally acceptable? I do have the benefit of a mother who never shamed anybody ever. That's why I said in that channel trailer video that it's because of my mother that I had any entrance into the spiritual life at all. And it's not because she was spiritual. It's because she let me be exactly what I am, always. Both of my parents did that. They were just always there. Not together, but there for me. And I realized that's the greatest gift. That is true wealth, true privilege. All this talk of like economic white privilege doesn't resonate with me because we were always poor. But spiritual privilege, I have a lot of that. So I am just trying to share what I know because I've had access to more experiences than a lot of other people just because I'm shameless. Anyway, I have my little comedy kitties with me because who better to give us advice about shame than shameless felines? I just want to pull a card or two. I like surprises. I'm not a fan of linear, even information, so my videos are going to lack structure. And I guess this cat is into it. Let's go to the moon! Or Mars. Let's go to Venus. Venus is my jam. Whoever is listening, ooh, that card jumped. That was a delightful little hop. Whoever is listening, what's a word of advice for you right now? That's very useful in dealing with shame, especially that you can't get rid of, in the sense of feeling like your nervous system has clung to an emotion, a feeling. If you just sit with it, be a witness. And if what's going on inside of you is ugly, and it does in everyone because we all have a reptilian brain, it's no accident that the spiritual community has seized upon reptilian as the sum of human evil. I don't believe in a reptilian race of beings. I just believe that there is a form of consciousness which took the reptilian brain and kind of ran away with it. So we've all got that in us. Again, that's Kundalini. That's the snake that turns into a dragon when mastered. In a lot of very dual traditions, Christianity. I just came across a quote by G.K. Chesterton the other day about conquering dragons, defeating the dragon. And it's not about defeating the dragon, because the dragon is you. It's about becoming the dragon versus the serpent, like the elevated form, the eagle instead of the scorpion. All the stuff that we tend to shame as human beings is the lead that we turn into gold. If you banish the lead, you've rid yourself the opportunity of making gold. And any real gold that you see was once lead. That is alchemy. There is no alchemy if you get rid of the base metal. How we become truly without shame versus shameless, I guess, is to realize that even if we are actively being something that is shameful, that's our raw material right there. Let's build on this. Take a risk have tolerance, sit with uncomfortable feelings. Anytime we take a chance, it's gonna come with a lot of moments of regret. Oh my God, I want to go back. I don't want to do this. This feels bad. Just sit with it. All right. Gosh, I almost have no connection to this word anymore. And even the look on this cat's face. There's so much of this in the world, right? I need another card. I don't have any thoughts about this cat. Here's where I'm at. Okay. Anytime I do experience this, like you start to get crabby face, playfulness takes me right out of it. Make fun of yourself. The trickster archetype. I'm trying to bring back archetypes because I think out of a sense of shame, we've wanted to just skip as quickly over that stuff as we can because we don't want to look at when we were base metals at all. We just want to get over it and be gold. Unfortunately, it's more of a process. And it can be playful and fun. Just make fun of yourself. That's the easy solution. Let's see what's on the bottom. Haha. I was hoping that would be, like, there's one of these in here that's the clown. Yes, here she is. This is my YouTube channel tactic. I hope you don't hate it. Thank you, kitties. How about we end on a pretty note here? I have this deck called Woodland Wardens, and this is the aesthetic that I've tried to live in. I've been jealous of, like, all of my maiden life. I really wanted to be just this very feminine, delicate, beauty-oriented thing, and life did not make me that. Did not give me the circumstances. Ah, lucky ducky. It was St. Patrick's Day yesterday. I thought it was St. Patrick's Day for a second. I did not get any luck yesterday, so I'll take it. I don't know if there's anything to expound on with that card finishing this. And I don't have the book with me. Shit. Let's see what's on the bottom. That's what I always do. Oh my gosh. Luck and happiness. Well, you can't beat that. Thank you so much for sticking it out this long. So much love, peace, luck, and happiness. Bye-bye.